Hi everybody, it's Emma. Got the Taylor shirt on, and let's talk about this video. So, you clicked on the title of this video because it's going to be my cat picks the books I read. I have a lot of books that I want to get to in November. A ridiculous amount of books that I want to get to in November. In fact, oh shit. Oh shit. This is taking a bit of a turn. If you're wondering what happened, in my attempt to pick up my stack of books, I knocked over my beloved Taylor cup and dumped a bunch of water on the floor. That's great. Reese isn't happy. Shit. Okay, that was a mess. Let's take two. These are, oh Jesus Christ. These are all the books that I think I'm going to read in November. Am I going to read all of them? No. But because there's 13 books here, 13, Taylor Swift, I've been having a lot of trouble picking one to read. So my cat is going to pick for me. So, I'm not going to put out all 13 of these books because he will eat all those treats and then he will throw up. So I'm going to pick 5, and then we're going to put treats on each of the books, open the door, and see which treat he eats first. So let's pick the books. Got 5 books that we're going to start with. So let's go through them really quick. This might change, so these are the 5 books that I'm going to have him pick from, but when I have him pick, I think I'm going to have him pick 3 books. Like, we'll do 5 and he picks 1 and then I'll read it, and then we'll do 5 and he picks 1 and then I'll read it, and then we'll do 5 and he picks 1 and then I'll read it. Does that make sense? Pick 5 books. So I've got 5 right here. I'll lay them out. He'll pick 1, I'll read it, and we'll do that 3 times. So, the first 5 books that we are setting out. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Vicky. Last book in the Dreamland Billionaires trilogy. Set of interconnected standalones. I didn't like the first book. I liked the second book. This one is about Cal. I did hear this one was kind of disappointing, so I'm hesitant, but we'll see. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Things We Never Got Over was fucking fantastic. Cannot wait to read this one. So, also, unnecessarily thick book. All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. Not really sure what this is about. I own it, so that's cool. We've got a tournament. Every generation at the coming of the Blood Moon, 7 families in the remote city each name a champion to compete in a secret tournament to the death. People have talked about this one. I really love the cover, and I think it's a duology, so. Chilling Effect by Valerie Valdez. This was something that I just picked up at the library because the cover looks cool and the little blurb. Kidnappers, Alien Emperors, Psychic Cats, and She's Out of Coffee. I think this is like a hilarious offbeat space opera that skewers everything from pop culture to video games, featuring a foul-mouthed captain and her motley crew in a universe-spinning adventure. This just seems like a fun little sci-fi book. It is due in a few weeks though, so I'm putting it on here. Then we have Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Carvel series, which I'm trying to finish before I can read the one that everybody loves, the Broken Hearts one. Curse for True Love. What the fuck is that series called? Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Broken Heart. That's not the first book, is it? Anyways, so this is the second book. We follow Tella. What? Okay. Anyways, so these are the 5 books that I'm going to have him pick from. Let's go get this set up. Okay, so we're in my spare room. The books set up. Everybody has a little treat. That is the door. Which one are you going to first? Oh, okay. Final offer it is. Hi everybody, it's me. We're back in my little corner. We're gonna do a little update. So, my cat picked the book I was gonna read. I gave him 5 choices, put treats on all of them. He picked one, and he picked The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is the final book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. I am currently on page 300, so I'm just over halfway through. I mean, this book is so big. Oh, we're cruising through this. So I'm reading it for about 4 days, and I am liking it so far. I was a little bit nervous. I don't remember who I was watching, but I feel like somebody said they didn't like this one as much, which I was going into it kind of nervous because, so this is the 3rd book. We're focusing on the 3rd Kane brother, Callahan, and he has been kind of my favorite from the past 2 books. I was really excited to get into his book, but then I think I saw somebody say that they didn't like it as much because you kind of build his up a lot. But so far I'm really liking it. So we have Cal, and Cal's the middle Kane brother, 3rd brother to get the book, and he struggles a lot with addiction, but his task from his grandfather's will, because each of the brothers had a task when their grandfather died so they could get their inheritance. His task is to go spend a summer at his grandfather's lake house before selling it. So he goes back to the lake house, and he has been back since he left his childhood best friend and love of his life, Lana, there. So he goes back and he was like, I'm going to sell this house. But guess what? Lana still lives there. And so it's kind of about them. She doesn't want to sell the house. He wants to sell the house so he can get his inheritance, but she's like, this is my fucking home. We've got single parent. We've got forced proximity. It's like childhood friends to lovers to enemies to friends. I'm assuming they're going to become lovers again. I'm really liking this. I'm really liking the slow burn. I'm liking the banter. I'm liking the, there hasn't been any steamy scenes, but there's been a lot of, tension. I just like this world. I'm excited to see Iris and Declan again in person. I'm hoping that we get to see them again in person. And I've done a little bit of reading today, but I went to the eye doctor and I got my eyes dilated, so I'm having trouble reading it. But I am halfway through. I'm hoping to finish this book by Friday, and Reese can pick a new book. But so far, my little baby has done a really good job, so I wish he would come over, but he's sitting in the window right now. But so that is my update on Final Offer. I'm liking it, hoping to finish it soon. Okay, hi everybody. So I have some good news. I finished The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I already returned to the library, so I don't have a copy with me. So I finished the book. I really liked it. Definitely made me tear up. It was kind of a little bit bittersweet because it's the last book in the trilogy, so we kind of got to see, we kind of got to see all the brothers and their partners and everything, kind of finish that out. I liked how it kind of wrapped up kind of the overarching plot of the will, because each of the brothers, were tasked with doing something from the will. I really liked Cal in this. I loved sort of his struggles and kind of seeing him work through them. I also really liked Lana. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more of Lana herself, because while Lana does have some really good development, I would have just a smidge more of development that wasn't totally centered around Cal, which is totally fine. That's just a really small nitpicky thing. Really happy. So You're going to pick another book for me. Let's look at the rest of the physical books I have to read. Okay. So I still have Chilling Effect on here. This was technically due, 4 days ago? So if he doesn't pick this one, which, you know, he should because it's got cats on it. But this is like a sci-fi novel. Okay. We have Legendary still on there. I haven't read this one. This is the second book in the Stephanie Garber series, Caraval. I'm really trying to finish the series so I can read Once Upon a Broken Heart because everybody loves that series. I just want to read it because it looks so much better than this. But I just am such a sucker for reading things in order. That's 2. We're going to pick 5 total. Deadly Education. I started this one. I'm on page 12. But I just haven't really had any desire to pick it up. So maybe that one. Right. The third book, so we've got 2 so far, so we'll pick 3 more. So the third book is going to be From Cold World with Love by Alicia Thompson. I read Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I liked it. It was fine. This one sounded funny. It's about 2 people that work at a bookstore. No. It's a winter wonderland theme park in Florida. And they kind of have like a friendly coworker rivalry, and then they get paired together for something. Love the art on her covers. I think it's really gorgeous. And I just think it'll be a really fun rom-com. And I think we'll add in Heart of the Raven Prince. This is the second book in the Entangled with Fae series, which is like, I think they're interconnected. But this is, all of the books are fairy princess retellings. This is Heart of the Raven Prince, Cinderella retelling. And we have a character from the first book. Ember was in the first book, so this is her story. And I think there's kind of like an overarching plot. I don't know what it is. Okay. I think I will just pick Deadly Education. Although, this is kind of the last book that I wanted to read. This series, my cousin loves this series. I have tried so hard, but I'm having a lot of trouble getting into this. Anyways, so these are the 5 books. I'm gonna go get this set up and we're gonna see what this little man chooses. Okay, so I did something a little bit different because I feel like the space between the books was uneven. So he's currently behind that door. And then I was like, okay, it's like pretty straight shot. Especially on the books top of the stairs. They have a treat on them. Savory salmon flavor. This is not sponsored. But okay, so let's just kind of crack open the store and see what he does. Oh, okay. If he can eat it. Legendary it is. Wow. Alright. Okay. Okay, after Legendary, he skipped over Chilling Effect and Cold World and went straight to Deadly Education, so I feel like I wouldn't have been happy with his pick anyways. He has picked Legendary by Stephanie Garber. No, I need to read this book to continue with the series, but I just didn't really care for the first one. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. Alright, Legendary is the pick. Hello, everybody. So, little mini update on this vlog because I've been busy, have not been reading, but Legendary. So, I am currently on page 135. I actually just finished this page. Chapter 14. Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I am enjoying it a lot more than the first book, actually. I didn't think I was going to like this book based on how I felt about the first book, but I like the story a lot more. I like Tella better as a character than I like Scarlet. I just feel like the first book just didn't make any sense. I don't know if anybody who's going to watch this video has watched Bob's Burgers, but if I can be able to put the clip in, I'll put it in, where it's like they're doing hamburger dinner theater and they're like, a lie is not a twist.
Oh, it's a lie. A lie is not a twist.
That's how I felt about Caraval, because it felt like everything was just a lie. So I wasn't even shocked because it just nothing made sense, you know? Whereas with this book so far, I'm liking a little bit more. We just met Jax, And Jax is the main character in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and that's why a lot of people say you should read Caraval first, is because it sets up stuff for that. So that was kind of fun to like see him in here, and be like, oh, that's everybody's guy. There he is. So far I'm enjoying it. I am kind of happy that my little cat picked this book, because I feel like this is not a book that I would have picked up sooner, because I was just really putting off reading it. But I do want to finish the series for the end of the year, so yeah. But I'm into it. We're doing it. Hi everybody, it's Emma, and we are back. My cat is going to pick another book for me to read. So he's only going to pick from 4. These are the last 4 books that I need to read in November, so he's going to pick from one of these. And that'll be the last book for this video, but just go through them really quick. So we have From Cold World with Love by Alicia Thompson. I think he decided to choose from this one before. It's just like a romance. Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This is like a fantasy dark academia. Also, I think number 4, The League of Gentlewomen Witches. I don't know what this is. Like contemporary. It's not contemporary, but it's not fantasy. Anyways, and then this book called Unseelie by Evelise Hausman. This was just like a random book that I picked up because I really, really liked the cover. This is the first book in a YA fantasy duology. It's about Fae, Fate, and sisters. So I just really like the cover. So these are the 4 books that I have left to read for November. So he's going to pick from one of these 4 books. And we'll see what he chooses. Alright, we've got the books lined up, each with a treat. Let's see what happens. Alright, you know what? I'll take that. That was kind of what I wanted. So, once he finishes his little snack. Thank you, you did so good. Okay, so our book has been selected. It is From Cold World with Love by Alicia Thompson. This is probably out of the books that I've kind of had in this video, this is definitely the one that I've been the most excited to read. I read Love in the Time of Serial Killers last year, and I did really, really enjoy it. I like this cover. I like the premise. They're in Florida. We've also got a grumpy sunshine, but it's like the girl is the grumpy one, and I think that's really fun. And I left the trees on the ground, so now I need to go get them before he eats them. But this will be the next book that I read for this video. And then we will see how good of a job my cat did picking out books. So, yeah. Hi, everybody. So, I have some good news. I have read all the books that my cat has picked out for me. This is going to kind of be like 2 updates in one, and then also the kind of wrap up of the video. I finished Legendary. And then my cat picked With Love From Cold World, which I've been saying the title wrong for most of this, but he picked that one. And then I started that book, kind of meant to like read it, give some updates, and then I binged the entire thing in one night. Like, could not stop reading this book. I loved it. But anyways, so I finished 3 books. My cat picked out for me. So let's run through the books. So the first book that he picked for me was The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Speaking of, I knew you were coming over. Do you want to talk about your thoughts? Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is the 3rd and final book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. This book follows the middle brother, I believe, Cal. All of the brothers sort of have tasks set by their grandfather in the will. So Cal's task is that he has to go to his lake house. I read this book at the beginning of the month. This video actually took me kind of a long time because I was stuck on Legendary for so long. But Cal but there's a woman living there named Lana, and Cal broke her heart when they were, like, young adults, like 20s-ish. And he broke her heart and never saw her again, but obviously they've never stopped thinking about each other since. So we kind of get them in this forced proximity situation where they're trying to figure out, Lana's like, I don't want to sell the house. Cal wants to sell the house because that is kind of the stipulation for his grandfather that's in the will, and they all have to complete their tasks where they get the money. Anyways, I did really enjoy this book. I'm glad I got to finish this series, and, sorry, I'm petting the cat while we do this, because he's baby. You're baby, aren't you? Is it hard being baby? They all have to complete their tasks to get their money. It was a nice, solid romance. Spicy, fun, made me cry. We kind of get a lot of Cal is kind of like a recovering addict, and so we get a lot of like his story and his struggles, and should he get sober for himself? Is he just getting sober for Lana? And so that was really, I found the story just really powerful and engaging. I do wish that we'd gotten a little bit more character development from Lana. The story is focused a lot on Cal, and Lana does get her. Lana is a part of the story, obviously, but I just feel like the things that she was feeling and sort of her doubts were mostly focused around Cal. So I really liked her as a character. I thought she was fantastic, but I wish we would have gotten a little bit more of like her self-development rather than just like development in the relationship. But overall, great. I loved also how it wrapped up the rest of the series, brought all those stories together, and then there was one of those like 5-year later epilogues, which always makes me cry. So, you know, everybody's there with their kids and shit. So loved that. Great, just great series. And it definitely improves. The first book was terrible. The second book is still my favorite. Okay, and then the next book I read was Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Caraval trilogy, which is like a YA fantasy series centered around a magical carnival. The first book, Caraval, was fine. I didn't love it. I did not really like Scarlett and Julian, which are, Scarlett is our main character and then Julian is her love interest. So the second book focuses on Tella, Scarlett's sister, and it just kind of follows her story in the events of the first book, and as Tella is trying to, it's another carnival, it's another mystery. This book was kind of like all over the place for me. I wasn't liking it. Like, my cat picked it, I was like, eh. And then I kind of got into it, and then I lost interest, and then I got into it, and I lost interest, and so as a result of that, it took me a while to get through this one, which, but I did finish it. I like this one a little bit more. We do meet Jax, which I think I mentioned in one of my, like, updates, and he is one of the main characters of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which is a really favorite YA fantasy series that a lot of people like, but Caraval technically comes first, so I was like, I'll read Caraval first, and it's kind of been like, meh. I do plan on finishing the series. First of all, I liked Tella a little bit better than Scarlett as a character. I think it's hard not to compare them because, again, they're sisters, but I just found Tella her decisions made a little bit more sense. I don't know. It's just silly, and again, I talked about this earlier. I just feel like all of these things are happening, and then suddenly it's like, oh, just kidding, all these things that were happening, we were lying the whole time. It's just, you know, a lie is not a twist. And I don't know, I just can never really follow what the fuck is going on. Like, am I dumb? I've read more complex fantasy books than this that made sense. I just feel like I don't really understand what's going on. Like, the clues are just weird, and this series is really meant for me. So maybe finale will, like, change my mind. I'll be like, oh my god, I'm amazed, I'm blown away. But so far, I'm pretty... Okay. So that was Caraval. No, that was Legendary. So, and then the last book that my cat picked one of the books that I was most excited to read was With Love from Cold World. This is a contemporary romance, and we have Asa and Lauren. And Asa and Lauren work together at this place called Cold World, which is like a winter-themed tourist attraction in Florida. Lauren is like their accountant, and Asa, he's worked there for like 10 years, and he kind of just does like odd jobs. Like he kind of just fills in where needed, but he's not a manager, he's just like a guy that can do everything. And they've kind of worked together for 2 years, but they don't really get along. So Cold World isn't doing very well because I mean, like, would you go to a wintry Christmas themed place? It's like, I don't know. It's in Florida, and so there are like just, you know, so many better things to do than go to this. Like, you know, they talk about how like Disney World and SeaWorld kind of like take a lot of their business. Not to promote SeaWorld, obviously, but how like they don't really do very well because there are other touristy things in Florida. And so the owner pairs them up to kind of create like a new marketing campaign for like, what can we do to like revitalize Cold World? And so they start spending more time together and fall in love. And this was just so cute. We've got found family, and I think what I liked most about this book is like Lauren and Asa both have a lot of trauma, and by the end of the book, the trauma wasn't resolved, which made it feel so much more realistic to me. Like they talked about their trauma and they worked through their trauma, but they were both like, it just made it feel so much more real that everything that they had going on wasn't solved within the parameters of a 2-month, 300-page book. Like, they both had a lot of trauma, and I feel like together they were starting to heal, and I just liked that it just left it open for them to have more time to heal together rather than just be like, all right, cool, we are all fixed. Because I feel like sometimes in romance books, like, there is the full happy ending, and while there was a happy ending, I feel like it was like a happy ending, we're healing, instead of just like a happy ending, everything's great. Sorry, I'm rambling. I really, really liked this book, as opposed to Alicia Thompson's first book, which I was a little bit disappointed with, Love in the Time of Serial Killers, but I really, really liked this one. I found the characters so real. I found the story interesting. I just loved that they kind of brought out the best in each other and different personalities. We've got queer, not just found family, we've got queer found family. We've also got a bisexual male main character, which super difficult to find in romance novels. I feel like if there is a romance between a man and a woman and there is a queer character, it is pretty much often always the female character in the relationship. So it was really refreshing to see bisexual representation from someone of a different gender, which I really, really enjoyed. I would highly recommend this book if you want just like a really cute romance. I also didn't know it took place in December, so it was kind of like fitting with the theme. We're going into Christmas time. I don't know what day it is, but we're going into like the colder months, so it was really great. And that is a wrap. So shout out to my cat for picking these books for me. He got a lot of treats. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know if there are any videos I should do, any books I should read, and I don't know, comment, like, subscribe, watch my videos. Helps me out. Thanks.